Hi everybody, Jeff Simon here at AirVenture 2025 with Dan Schwinn of Avidyne. How are you doing, Dan?
Very well this morning.
This has to be one of the most exciting chances to do an interview with you because you've got some big news.
We have big news. This is a strange occurrence for us to be here on Thursday at Oshkosh announcing a certification, but we have just received the certification of our Vantage 12 flight deck that's aimed at the Cirrus market that was originally equipped with Integra. So this is a very big day for us, and we're happy to be here celebrating.
I mean, I've been coming here and seeing Vantage on display for a while. It's gorgeous. You know that I'm a huge fan, obviously, of your equipment, of all Avidyne stuff, because as an IFR pilot especially, I find that no matter how challenging things get, which they were, I can tell you, coming in last Saturday into here, it just is intuitive. It helps me in high stress environments. And Vantage seems to be an extension of the IFD series right on big displays in front of you with really taking over primary, multifunction, but again, really it just fits the way that I'm used to doing things.
You're right, Jeff. The Vantage is really an extension of the user interface associated with the IFDs, and it does focus on ease of use, and it really focuses on the ease of transition from our first generation system to the Vantage. There's a lot of similarity in terms of what the controls do, and so people who upgrade are going to be able to jump right in and get going. I think a couple of the key things you're going to see, along with the fact that it's a 12-inch screen instead of a 10, and you got high graphic, much more graphical synthetic vision, but probably one of the most interesting things is the ability to have a backup PFD on the MFD. So in our first generation system, really the MFDs were completely independent of the PFDs, and here you've got the capability to have a backup in case you lose your original PFD. And the autopilot will fly right through some kind of a failure. The other thing I think that people remark on all the time is that this is really fast. This system is really fast. It's based on our newest hardware platform, and it's our going forward system that we will be adding features to for years to come. And we based it on a hardware platform that has plenty of capacity for new things to come out.
I have noticed that, like every time you touch it, it's instant in its response. It's like what people get used to, where it's totally intuitive, like you would with consumer electronics and the highest power, pad or something like that. It really is cool. But again, one of the coolest things for all of this is you don't really have to think about how to use it. It just makes sense because you've got the same kind of tabs, the same kind of multifunction rocker buttons that you do on the IFD system. So tell me a little bit about, for all the Cirrus owners out there that can upgrade, what's this upgrade look like? What's the process?
So the Cirrus Upgrade really consists of an upgrade to probably three separate sections. One is the stack, which is the navigators, the autopilot, and the audio panel. The second is the components that you don't see, like the ADSB in and out equipment and weather receivers. And then the third is the displays. And so these things can be done all at once, or they can be done incrementally, which is a big advantage to this system. You can do, I always tell people the autopilot is absolutely the highest priority thing that should be done first to build a safer airplane. Then the navigators are obvious increment. If you don't have ADSB in and out, you really want to have that. You want to have some kind of a weather receiver. And then you move into getting the Vantage displays. And the Vantage display installation is very, very easy because these are designed to go under the existing glare shield. We provide replacement instrument panels. The Vantage has an adapter on the back that allows it to plug into the existing harnesses on the aircraft. There is one additional harness that you use to hook it up to there, and depending on whether you're going to do redundant air data and redundant magnetometer and what you're going to do with your transponder and ADSB in, there's some other harnessing required. But we've made a system level installation plan so that dealers can know, not just as we typically do for all these components, a installation manual just for the given box, but we have one essentially for the entire airplane that we're working on.
Wow.
That'll show all the details of how to do this installation consistently. And the recommended installation is what we see here, which is to have the autopilot, which goes on the bottom, the 440 to 540 as your navigators, our audio panel, and then the Vantage 12. And there's a redundancy option, which is that you can have a second air data computer and a second, it always comes with two ARSs, but the air data computer the second air data computer is an option that we'll recommend people get, but it's an additional cost that people may not want to do or may not want to do at first.
Right.
And the same thing with the second mag. The system automatically, as you can tell, switches to, if there's a failure on one, it automatically switches to one that's operational. So,
well, it's so cool. I mean, it seems to me, I've advised quite a few people to upgrade their center stack already in those aircraft, and so they've already kind of moved to Avidyne equipment. So it sounds like if your center stack has been updated in the past already, that upgrading your displays and really going full Vantage is pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward. I think you're going to see the dealers being able to do this very quickly. They're all talking about, if you already have a stack, you know, being able to get these done in a week. So
wow.
I think that's
a week is not something you usually hear at an avionics shop.
This is and they're focused on being able to get these in and get them out and get them working right. So I think that that's going to be exciting to be able to get this upgrade. Obviously, we've had a lot of business of our navigators because they're plug and play with the obsolete GNSs. And one of the big compelling factors is, you know, in and out in a day.
Right.
But you know, people are interested in these things being very predictable and quick installation, and the Vantage is, I think we're going to see that.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic. I assume now with paper in hand, you'll be shipping out and
so we have our own aircraft that we gave to one of our best dealers to start an installation on. We've been going very slowly on that, kind of get every single nit and out of the installation documented, and we have several more on order, and we're going to have some of the biggest, most active Cirrus dealers who are going to be doing the first ones.
That's fantastic.
We still have to get our production certificate. That shouldn't be more than a few days, and then we'll be able to start shipping the initial low-rate production units to a handful of first customers. There are 150 people on the waiting list and hundreds more that haven't put themselves on the list. So we think we're going to be busy with this for a bit.
I'm sure you will. It'll be going really fast. So again, big news here at AirVenture 2025 on Thursday. Avidyne gets certification for its Vantage 12 system. For Social Flight, I'm Jeff Simon. Blue skies.